Hey everyone. Today we are going to talk about the last pillar in object oriented programming, which is encapsulation. Encapsulation is a core principle of object oriented programming. Encapsulation, as the name itself suggests, it means hiding the data. You allow controlled access to your data using getter and setter methods. So imagine your smartphone. You can use apps, make call, or send messages. But are we aware of the complex inner workings of the phone? Most of us are not. The internal circuit, the file system, all of that is hidden. But still, we can interact with the phone. There is a limited access that we get to the phone. Like we can use the touch screen, we can use the buttons, we can use the apps, we can change the brightness of the code. So, this is what encapsulation is. Data is hidden and access is controlled. So let's understand this with an example. So let's say I have a class bank account and I have a init method here. Let's also increase the size. First argument is always self, and maybe balance is also an input to this. And then we can say self dot balance is equal to balance. Then if I have to create an object of this bank account, I can say account, bank account, and I have to pass the balance. Let's say the balance is $1,000. And then we can go ahead and print account dot balance. This we have done before as well. The balance is 1,000. So here the balance is a public variable. If I want to change this value, I can directly go ahead and change it. I can say account dot balance is equal to minus 500. So if I run this and now check my balance, it's minus 500. So this is a bad practice. We have the direct access to this balance and anyone can set it to a negative balance. So to prevent this, we need encapsulation. So a better approach to design this class would be to use encapsulation. Let's see how. So copy pasting from above. And then I'll make my balance a private variable. To create a private variable, you have to add double underscore before the name. So double underscore. Now, because there's a double underscore balance, this is a private variable. So instead of public, now this is private variable. Now let's again create a account. Let's just call it account one of this bank account class. Balance is, let's say, 4,000. And if I say account one dot underscore underscore balance, it is saying that bank account object has no attribute underscore underscore balance. Now, why is this happening? Why are we not able to access this balance underscore underscore balance? Because now it's a private variable. Why is it a private variable? Because the variable name has two underscores before it. That means this variable is a private variable. So we cannot directly access or modify it. Like we were doing in this example, we were accessing the balance directly and also modifying it directly. We cannot do it for the private variables. Then what if we want to change the balance later on? So for that, we can have getter and setter methods to control the access to this variable. So let's create a getter method. Def. Name of the method could be anything. Get balance. This method we are writing to fetch the balance, and this will return self dot underscore underscore balance. Now let's run it. And now when we create an account, fetch the balance, we can call this get balance function. So now we can, from inside of this class, we can access the balance. So this is called as getter function. There are no rules attached to it. It's just a function which helps you access the private variable from within the class. It's called getter function. Similarly, to set the value of the balance. So in the previous example, what we did, we simply said account.balance and assigned it the value minus 500. Now we cannot do the same thing for private variables. So we have to write a setter function to set the value of this variable. So let's call it. So name could be anything. I'm just calling it set balance, but you can name it whatever you like. First argument is always self, and then it will also take the updated amount. So amount is also an input to this. And then if amount is, so here we can check if amount is greater than equal to 0, because amount cannot be negative, then we want to update the balance to this new amount. Otherwise, so else, we want to simply print balance cannot be negative. Now, if we run this, we are able to get the balance. And if I want to change the balance, I can simply call this set balance function, provide it with a new amount, let's say $9,000. And now if I want to check what is my updated balance, I can again call the getter method, which is your get balance. Okay, there's a spelling mistake, account 1, 9,000. So while this is a getter method, this we call as setter method. Once again, name of these methods could be anything. Now, no one can set a negative balance directly. You need to call the get balance and set balance every time you want to update the values or fetch the values of this variable. Now, there's a better way to do the same thing, and that is by using @ property decorator. So, same idea, same concept. We want to shroud the variable so that it cannot be directly updated or accessed. But this time we are going to do it in a better way, which is by using @property decorator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy paste this from above and we are going to modify this. So this remains same. We have defined a private variable. Now instead of having a get balance function, let's create a function with the same name as the variable. So the function will be called balance. Name of the function has to be balance here. And this will be decorated with @rate property. So this is a decorator function. Similarly, For this, again, we'll call it balance. So we'll have the two functions with the same name, which is okay. And then this is a setter function. So this has to be decorated with @balance.setter. Now let's see the working of this by creating an object or an account of this class. Let's call it account2, bank account class. And now if I want to call the getter function, so maybe I'll pass one value also here. So 3000. Now I want to check the balance. So if I call the getter function, how would I call it? Might think I should call it like this, but no, we will just say account2.balance and it will give us the balance. So in the background, you have this getter and setter function, but for a person using this or just saying account2.balance, they don't know that this is a private variable and these two getter and setter functions are being called in the background. Likewise, if you want to change the value of the balance to something else, you can say dot balance and pass the amount, let's say 5000, not like this, pass the amount like this is equal to 5000. And here, this function will get called. So we are not doing account2.balance and then parenthesis and then passing the amount. No, this is a setter function which we have set using property decorator. So for calling this is how you do it. Now, if you check the balance once again, which function would be called? When we do account2.balance, this function will be called. And the updated balance is 5000. So why is it better? Because first, it is a cleaner syntax. Instead of saying account dot get balance and then parenthesis and passing all the values, you can simply say account. So this is much cleaner, but you can opt for any one. It's the same thing. The idea is that we are encapsulating our data and providing limited access. Now, what if you don't have a setter function, only have a getter function? So what if I delete this from here? That means your variable is read-only variable. Your property is read-only property. So maybe you don't give an option to update an account like this, account balance like this. It could be only updated using a deposit function when a person comes and deposits the money and the balance accordingly is incremented. Or when the person comes to withdraw the money, the balance accordingly is adjusted for that as well. Maybe you don't have a setter function in that case. So it's a read-only property. It cannot be directly changed. So yes, that's about encapsulation. Why you would use encapsulation? First, to avoid accidental modifications of data. Second, hide implementation details from the user. And it also keeps your code more organized, secure, and easy to maintain. So that's encapsulation in Python. We saw how it protects data, how @property decorator makes it better. So that's all for this one. See you in the next video. Thank you for watching.